worldwide war against crime, there are men and women trained to sink their own identity in the international underworld. They work alone, in danger and in shadow, unrecognized by friend and enemy alike. They are the operators of the almost legendary Ghost Squad.
Worrying about me. What's the matter? There's a man in the water.
Where? I don't see anyone.
But I saw him a moment ago.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, of course I must do something. Tell someone. Oh, don't waste time. He's drowning.
Help! Help! There's a man in the water.
There's a man overboard. We were standing here.
Did you try my lifeboat?
I didn't even see him.
Oh, but I did.
Now, please keep calm, miss. We don't alarm the other passengers. I'll turn the bridge right away.
Oh, please hurry, hurry before it's too late. Hurry, hurry. Oh, please, hurry, hurry.
When Professor Boris Nestorenko, one of our leading space mathematicians, decided on a Mediterranean cruise for that long overdue vacation, security shuddered nervously and had the name Craig added to the ship's passenger list. My orders? Simply to keep an eye on the old boy. There were no instructions concerning the conduct of the other eye.
Lie on the rocks, Mr. Craig.
Oh, thank you, Nels. Oh, hello. That's a familiar face.
It's unforgettable. She's Ella Gant.
Oh, yes, the French movie
She
star.
came on board the day before yesterday at Marseille.
How far has she gone?
That's anybody's guess, Mr. Craig. You know those French movie stars?
Oh, I don't, but I'm willing to learn. Here's to La Dolce Vita.
Cheers. Oh, one for the road, Mr. Craig?
No thanks, Nels.
Nice timing.
Oh.
2 a.m., Senor Scaccia.
Per favore, Niels, the other side, huh?
Some people on board want to sleep, Senor.
Well, some people on board want to dance.
2 people. Sorry.
Paisano, I shall complain to the captain.
Well, it is late, Ettore.
Cara Anya, on a cruise ship there is no such word as late. You would like to dance? You shall dance. Arrivederci, Roma.
She's quite a character.
Goodbye and
She seems to think so.
Ah, shipboard romance. Her name's Anya Kravchuk, the grey-haired old gent at the table's uncle.
Is he?
Boris Nestorenko. Heard of him? Britain's electronic brain.
Britain's what?
Oh, he's a mathematician. Space stuff. You should meet him. He's a nice old bird.
Who's the man with him?
Oh, Nell, you want to watch out for that one.
You're a mine of information.
Stand this side of the bar, Mr. Craig. You soon find out who's who and who's what.
And what's our now?
An adventurer.
So when the sheik asked me to spend the night in the tent, I had visions of being chased all round the tent by dancing girls. But the only thing that pursued me was bugs in the bedding.
And always I've envied the Arab his nomadic way of life.
You had a lucky escape, Professor. At least mathematics don't bite.
Oh, don't get up, Mr. Arnell.
No more dancing, Anya?
The orchestra is exhausted.
She wanted to twist.
Oh, no, thank you, Ettore. I'll smoke my own.
Oh. Well, it's lucky the safety catch was on, Miss Kravchuk. Might have been a serious accident.
Anya, why are you carrying that thing?
Please, Uncle Boris, not here.
Yes, here.
Very well. To protect you.
And from whom should I need protection? From my friends?
Not from your friends, no.
I apologize for my niece's behavior.
Well, I think her concern for your safety is very laudable.
It's melodramatic and embarrassing. From now on, Anya, that weapon will remain under lock and key in your cabin.
As you wish, Uncle. If you'll excuse me.
Anya.
Good night, Ettore.
Excuse me, sir, was that Miss Kravchuk? Yes.
Is something the matter, Stuart?
No, Professor, just checking my charges.
Counting heads?
Captain's orders, sir. Now, who have we? Professor Nestorenko, Mr. Arnell, Mr. Scatcher, and,
Craig.
Oh, yes. Good, that's everyone.
Is someone missing? That's what we're trying to find out, Mr. Craig.
What?
Please, Professor, don't be alarmed. I'm confident everyone will be accounted for.
Well, what's happened, Captain?
Well, about midnight, a rather hysterical young woman claimed she saw someone, a man, go over the stern. Her boyfriend was with her at the time, didn't see anybody in the water. Neither did we when we turned the ship about.
I thought we backtracked.
for about an hour.
But you found no one?
Not a trace. Personally, I think the young lady was imagining things, or if she did see something, it was a bucket of slops being dumped over the side.
Nevertheless, you are counting heads.
Under these circumstances, we always do.
Down far. Yes, yes. Hold on, please. The bridge for you, sir.
Captain speaking. Ah, very good, thank you. Well, it was as we suspected. Moonlight, imagination, a bucket of slops. Everyone's accounted for.
Including the crew, sir?
Including the crew.
I am most relieved.
So am I, Professor. After all, this is a pleasure cruise, not a mystery trip.
Gretzky, it's me, Scotchy. Gretzky, wake up.
Oh,
Yeah. I thought you were in bed.
I wasn't sleepy. I came to see you, but you weren't there when I knocked at your cabin door.
No, I didn't feel like turning in. I thought I'd get some air.
I guessed as much. I'm sorry, Ettore,
Sorry?
for being so abrupt in the lounge. I was angry at my uncle and that man Arnell.
It is forgiven and forgotten, Cara.
You're very sweet.
You're very lovely. And you're liable to be compromised if you're found here. I'll take you to your cabin.
Ettore, why were you tapping on the side of the lifeboat?
Tapping?
Yes, just as I came out on deck.
I was knocking on wood and wishing on the moon.
You're superstitious.
Of course.
What did you wish for?
That I'd see you.
Oh, Barrick, which is Professor Nestorenko's cabin?
Oh, you passed it, Mr. Arnell, C3, but I think the professor's asleep.
Oh, in that case, I won't disturb him. Good night.
Good night, sir. Off to see another little inamorata.
It's none of your damn business.
Isn't it? The Conder's invested a lot of money in your talent, Scatcher, and I'm here to protect his interests.
I'll do my job, Klavik. When we get to Dubrovnik, the girl will get off with me. You'll have a free hand with the old man.
We'd better. Now go to bed. Save your energy for later. You may need it. Go to bed.
On the surface, Professor Nestorenko's vacation seemed as calm as the Mediterranean. But Anya's gun and Arnell's reputation were ripples which made me wonder if there were squalls ahead. Even though the immediate outlook was sunny enough.
Allow me.
Ah, vous êtes gentil, Toucan.
You're welcome. Are you thinking of swimming from here to Dubrovnik?
Would you recommend it, Monsieur?
Craig, Nick Craig, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Then what else shall we do?
Oh, I don't care. Loaf in the sun, talk. I'm easy.
Moi aussi, I'm on holiday.
Between pictures.
No, husband's knee. Ah, quel dommage. Here is Marcel. He wants to take some shots of me. Ah, it will be such a bore.
Excuse me, sir. Just checking to see everything is shipshape.
Well, it's, as far as I can tell,
Everything's perfect.
Afraid she's not on my list, though I wouldn't mind being on hers.
You a photographer, Professor?
No, I find these little figures on the lenses so confusing. I would rather just study the subject.
Well, I must say she's very attractive, even to an old misogynist like myself.
You never married?
No, there was a girl once. When she wanted to marry, I wasn't ready. By the time I was ready, she'd gone. How about you?
Well, my wife died many years ago. We had no children.
Oh, Anya's your niece.
Yes, the daughter of my wife's sister from Krakow. It's a familiar story, Mr. Arnell. The forced labor camp, refugee center, and then one day on my doorstep, Anya.
But she's a very charming young woman.
To me, she is as my own child.
Has she known this fellow,
Scatcher?
Yes, Scatcher. Has she known him long?
Only since he came aboard at Lisbon.
5 days. Well, I've met this type before. You must tell the girl to be careful.
Oh, moonlight flirtation, Mr. Arnell. Anya's a sensible girl.
Yeah, just tell her to watch out.
Well, perhaps you would talk to her.
Me? I'm in Dutch already over the gun.
The gun? Such foolishness. I do not understand.
Well, she was concerned with your safety, Professor. But don't underestimate yourself. You'd be a valuable asset to any space research team.
My dear Arnell, the word team implies a willingness to play. I have already chosen my side.
Yeah, people have been persuaded to transfer.
I know that, but I'm too old to be subdued by threats of violence.
10, 11, 12, 13. 13, I check it. 13? No, you should only have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, that's what's here. Oh, you got one too many then. Here, look at this lot, sir. That's blood, isn't it?
Anya, what have you been up to?
Playing dacoits. I'm an expert at it. Torritore didn't stand a chance. He's going to try for his revenge this afternoon.
Anya.
Yes?
Don't become too involved with him.
I don't understand.
Please, my dear, with Scatcher, be careful.
What have you been saying to my uncle?
Mr. Arnell said nothing.
Oh, it's all right, Professor. I told your uncle that I didn't think Scatcher was the type of man you should...
Become involved with? Of all the cheek.
Yes, but I've met his type before, and they're all alike.
I don't imagine they think too highly of you.
No, it's all right. You're quite right, Anya. They hate me with good reason. I can spot one of them a mile off. Scatcher's a phony.
And you're an aging adventurer, Mr. Arnell.
Which I don't deny.
Anya, this has gone far enough. You will apologize.
For speaking her mind as I spoke mine. Oh, no, Professor. Anya's no cause to apologize.
Uncle, do you object to my seeing a Tory?
I don't want you to be hurt.
I choose my own friends. My uncle chooses his. I hope he will not be hurt either.
In my human relationships, 2 and 2 never make 4. I'm sorry.
Well, there's no need to be, Professor. I like Anya. She's got spirit.
Too much, perhaps.
Mr. Gray? Captain's compliments, sir. Would you care to join him in his day cabin?
Of course, I'd be glad to.
And if you come with me?
Gentlemen, I once got told off by 30 women all at the same time. I was staying in the Sultan's palace at the time, and I wandered into the women's quarters. Quite by accident, you understand. Well, they gave me a devil of a time. Scratching, shouting, screaming. And then along came some big Nubians, the biggest men I'd ever seen in my life. I thought I was for it. I really thought I was for it.
By the way, how's the young lady with the vivid imagination?
She still insists she saw someone go overboard.
Did she? Oh, you didn't invite me up here to chat, sir. What's happened?
This was found in a lifeboat this morning. It may have nothing to do with your assignment, but I thought you'd like to see it.
Dried blood.
A bullet was lodged in there, and I took it out.
You an armory on board, sir?
10 Smith & Wessons. They kept under lock and key, of course.
This is from a Mauser. Any passengers declare arms?
I checked that, no.
Oh, that's interesting. So there may have been a body after all.
Yes?
But no one's missing.
What if the victim were a stowaway?
That's possible. But this life jacket could have been on that boat for weeks.
It wasn't there 4 days ago.
How do you know that?
The life jackets were checked then. There were only 12 in that boat then.
And on today's inspection, this was number 13.
Yes.
Why would a stowaway be wearing it?
Warmth, perhaps. The small hours can be rather cool, even in the Mediterranean.
And he wasn't dumped with it on because the body would have floated.
Correct.
Any idea where it came from?
All our life jackets have got SS Aurelia stenciled on them. That one hasn't. He must have brought it on board with him.
It's an odd thing to do.
Hmm?
Unless... Have you got a knife handy?
This do?
Yes, fine. Let's have a look at this. Money. An Israeli passport. Probably forged. Emmanuel Levy. Ever seen him before?
No. Have you?
No, I haven't. Have you got facilities for wiring photographs ashore, sir?
As a matter of fact, we have.
Could this go out as soon as possible? I'd like London to have a look at the late Mr. Levy.
Oh, hello, Tony. Here's your ticket to Tehran.
Did you pick up one for yourself?
The nearest I'd ever get to Persia is the airline booking office down the street.
Now, porridge, don't be bitter. You know, it can't always be cakes.
And ale. Nick gives me that line, too.
Anything further from him?
Not a word.
What about Mr. Levy?
The chief's got every police force this side of the Berlin Wall on that one.
And?
Nothing so far. Miss Carter? Yes? Yes? Oh, hold on a minute, please. Mr. Stark.
Yes, Miss Carter, what is it?
Sorry to disturb you, sir, but that's Paris on the line.
I'll take it. Now, Miss Carter,
Yes, sir?
has Miller left for Tehran yet?
He's just on his way, sir. Here's Paris now.
I know what I'll bring you back from Persia.
So do I. Your expense account.
How did you guess? Bye-bye, porridge. When's that cruise ship due at Dubrovnik?
Midnight tomorrow, sir.
Their time or ours?
Theirs.
You'd better get me to Dubrovnik as quick as you can.
Yes, sir. Is something up?
The Siete have identified Levy. His real name was Joseph Bretsky.
Bretsky?
You check. 5 years ago in Evian, he witnessed a kidnapping. The victim was an American nuclear physicist who turned up later, rather the worse for wear, in Pekin, where he now bombards Oriental atoms.
And the kidnapper?
A professional we only know as the Condor.
The who?
The Condor. He's a highly capable, utterly ruthless bit of work. We've all been onto him one time or another, and we've all lost him. We don't know his name. We don't know what he looks like.
And Bretsky did.
That probably is why he died.
Do you think the Condor killed him?
All I know is that Nesterenko's on that boat, and I don't want him to end up in Pekin.
Yes, sir. I'll make the reservations for Dubrovnik right away.
Good.
Oh, sir, what about your special report?
No special report.
For the Foreign Secretary.
Oh, my God. Well, book a seat for yourself as well, and we can do it on the way.
Yes, sir.
And send a coded cable to Craig. Put him in the picture and tell him to stay close to Nesterenko. The old boy's in great danger.
Yes. Well, nobody warned me. Every time I drank, they filled my glass, and every time they filled my glass, I drank. But eventually, I reeled off to bed and passed out like a light. Well, the next thing I knew, I was looking at a line of camels, the sun was shining, and voices were saying, "Greetings, Effendi," and I looked up and saw all these smiling Arab faces. And I thought, no, this is a dream. I'm in bed. But it wasn't a dream, and I wasn't in my sleeping bag. I was in the middle of the desert, surrounded by camels, sunshine, and smiling Arab faces, and what's more, I was stark naked.
There was my poor old daddy all plumb tuckered out, sitting on the steps of his little old office block. And he said to me, "Son," he said, "why, I just had to park my Cadillac 10 blocks from here and walk." And I said, "Walk? Why, Daddy, you can afford the price of a cab. You was just about the richest man in the whole wide world."
Perhaps your papa is saving up to buy you something.
My Daddy? Hey, that's rich, honey. That is right rich.
Will you save Nick?
Money, or is someone yelling for help?
Ah, it is not polite to shout.
Niels?
Yes, Mr. Arnell.
We'll have another round, please.
Yes, sir, and that's,
That's a champagne cocktail, 2 dry martinis, and a dry sherry.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what?
Oh, la la.
I'm so sorry. How very clumsy of me.
No harm done, gentlemen.
It was my fault.
Let me buy you another.
No, thank you.
Oh, I insist. What will it be?
Rye on the rocks, sir.
Rye on the rocks, Hills?
That's 1 champagne cocktail, 2 dry martinis, dry sherry, and rye on the rocks, sir.
Well, there's an idea. Why don't you join us?
Thank you. I'll be glad to.
I'll bring the drinks to the table, sir.
Thank you, Nils. Oh, I'm Larry Arnell.
My name's Nick Craig.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you. Of course, I've seen you around.
And I've appreciated your story.
Oh, those. Well, they serve to keep the old boy happy. I spilled Mr. Craig's drinks. I've asked him to join us. Mr. Craig, Professor Boris Nesterenko, Miss Anya Krovchuk. That's Ettore Scrazia.
How do you do?
How do you do? Sit down, Mr. Craig.
Thank you. I'm honored to meet you, sir.
Oh, nonsense. Mr. Craig, what do you do for a living?
I sell tractors.
In the Middle East?
No, South America's my home.
Oh, these came from South America. Uncle Boris gave them to me.
Most attractive. Have you been there, sir?
Never, but it is a continent which has always fascinated me, even as a boy. I used to dream of stowing away aboard a ship bound for Fortaleza, Punta Arenas, and Valparaiso.
Why didn't we take a South American cruise instead of this one?
Anya, one pays to go to New York, or Moscow, or London, even Dubrovnik, but to go to a place with a name like Valparaiso, to go there properly, one must stow away. Mr. Scaccia, as a romantic, do you not agree with me?
Yes. Yes, Professor, I do.
Though stowing away in this day and age might be a bit tricky. Though I hear we had one aboard this ship.
But here?
How exciting.
Where'd you hear about this?
The 2 deck officers were discussing it. I overheard.
Where was he?
In one of the lifeboats.
Niels, Mr. Craig tells us we have a stowaway aboard.
Really, sir, I hadn't heard. Why anyone bothers to try is beyond me, so few get away with it. Thank you, sir.
Which lifeboat was the stowaway in, Mr. Craig?
Oh, I think it was the last one on the starboard side of the boat.
Oh, Ettore, you must have scared him.
Me? Oh, Anya, why do you say a thing like that? I don't know what you're talking about.
The night before last, remember? You wished on the moon and tapped on wood, which happened to be the side of that particular lifeboat.
I remember. The stowaway was in that boat?
So Mr. Craig says.
Poor man.
Poor man is right. He got caught.
You'll be in the ship's cinema. Very well, Mr. Trussler. Yes, certainly. At the moment, fast asleep. Not a sound out of him. Yes, madam, yes. Thank you. Hey, deck steward, Clavig, may I help you? Who? Craig? All right. No, dead easy. When I'm turning down his bunk. Yes, now. All right. Just a moment, sir. I'm just turning down your bunk. Mr. Craig. Oh, Mr. Arnell.
Oh, my mistake, Clavik. I thought I lived here.
No, you're in number 7, sir.
How stupid of me.
I owe you an apology, Uncle.
Agnieszka.
And Mr. Arnell.
About Scaccia.
You saw how he behaved this evening.
He seemed nervous.
Panic-stricken was more like it. Do you think he knew?
About the stowaway?
Yes.
He knows something.
Well, whatever it is, I don't want to be involved. I'll put an end to our romance tonight. If you please, you're Mr. Arnell.
He's nobody's fool, that man.
But I wouldn't trust him.
Oh, I think I would.
Uncle, for me to be wrong about Ettore doesn't matter. But for you to be wrong, that would be something else again.
Anya, no one is going to harm me. No one.
It's a beautiful night.
Yes, Mr. Craig, very beautiful.
In a couple of hours, we should be able to see the lights of the city.
Oh, are we as close as that?
We're due to drop anchor at 12 midnight, sir.
Have you been to Dubrovnik before, Mr. Craig?
Yes, Miss Kupchak, I have. And you?
Well, this is our first visit.
Well, perhaps you'll allow me to show you the town tomorrow.
That would be very kind of you.
Be my pleasure, sir.
We've already made arrangements, Mr. Craig. There's a tour organized by the ship.
I see.
Now, Uncle, we'd better hurry if we want to see that film.
The film? A Western, Mr. Craig. Do you like Westerns?
Good ones, Professor.
All Westerns are good. Even the bad ones come along, Anya. Anya, you were a bit abrupt with him.
Was I?
He is another one you do not trust?
That's right, Uncle.
And why not?
Uncle, on board ship, news travels fast, particularly among the crew. But Mr. Craig knew all about the stowaway before the bartender did. Don't you find that strange?
I can't find me a job, ma'am. My poor old granddaddy's to blame, because he left me a right mess of shares and things when he passed on. Now I get 40 grand every year, and when I go looking for work, my friends will say to me, boy, you all don't need no job. You work hard enough spending all that dough. And you all know something, honey? It's a right trial figuring out new ways to get through 40 G's every year.
Quelle misère. Like you, I would not know where to begin. Would you, Nick?
Would I what, Ella?
Know where to begin.
I think so.
The usual, Mr. Craig?
Please, Nelson.
One right on the rocks coming up.
Yes.
Yes, Senior Sketcher?
The same again.
A double?
Yes, a double.
Don't you think perhaps a single with a splash of water?
No, don't argue with me.
All right, Senor, it's your hangover.
Senor Craig, you're the man. You're the very man I want to speak.
What about?
What about? That's very funny, Senor. Very funny.
Senior Sketcher, why don't you lie down for a while?
Why don't you mind your own business? Huh?
It's all right, Nels.
Sorry, Mr. Craig, if you need any help.
I can manage. What's on your mind, senor?
I want to know about this stowaway, everything, you understand?
Well, I've already told you everything I know. He was found in a lifeboat.
Where is he now?
You better ask the captain that.
I'm asking you, senor.
I've already told you, I don't know.
You said before that he was caught, huh?
I suppose he's in the brig.
The brig?
The ship's prison. Why are you so concerned about it?
Well, wouldn't you be if you were to blame?
For what?
His being caught. It was my fault.
Of course, I'd forgotten. You wished on the moon and touched wood. Well, that's the story, isn't it?
It's the truth. I have a witness.
Anya Krupchak, that's right.
What's the game? What are you playing at?
I was about to ask you the same.
You think I had something to do with this stowaway? You crazy?
Am I?
This man means nothing to me, nothing.
But you want to know what happened to him?
Of course. I'm only asking out of kindness, that's all.
How very noble.
All right, then, so forget it. Forget I asked.
Sit down, Scotty.
Leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Hey! Well, what's his problem? A bit too much to drink. Excuse me.
Craig's wasting his time with that man. He's not worth it.
Yes, sir. Scotch and soda?
Yes, please.
When did he come on board at Marseille?
Leave me alone.
Come on, Scotchy. You knew about him all along.
I didn't.
What was your job? To bring him food?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, then I'll tell you. Bretsky's dead.
Dead?
He was murdered.
Bretsky? You're lying.
You want to ask the captain?
Who are you, the police?
No.
Immigration?
No.
Well, what do you want?
The truth about Bretsky. Did you kill him?
Of course not. Why should I do a thing like that?
Just what did you do?
I smuggled him on board at Marseille. I hid him in the lifeboat and brought him food.
Who paid you?
He did, 250,000 lire.
Where was he going?
Haifa.
Why?
When you do these things, you don't ask questions.
This time you should have.
I don't know who killed him, I swear.
What's your involvement with Anya Krupchak?
Why do you ask that?
Because I want to know.
I just like beautiful women.
Keep away from her.
Why, what are you going to do?
Depends on whether you've been telling the truth.
I have, on my oath, senor.
For your sake, I hope so.
What do you want?
Close the door.
Conda wants to know what the devil you think you're up to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You weren't with her tonight.
She and Nesterenko went to the cinema.
So you got drunk, you idiot. Tomorrow's the day.
I hadn't forgotten.
And Anya Kravchuk's going to be with you?
Yes.
All day?
That's what we arranged.
Good. And I can set the Conda's mind at ease. Conda. Oh, there's something else I had to ask you. What? You don't know anything about that stowaway, do you?
Stowaway? Why should I?
Conda thought you might. I told him he wouldn't be mixed up in something else. He was working for us. You've got more sense. See?
Private party in the State Department, sir. I don't think any of them will get ashore tonight, sir.
Tonight? Is there a boat?
One in about an hour's time, just after we drop anchor.
Oh, hello, Professor.
Sir?
Have a drink. Thank you. A brandy.
Brandy for the professor.
Where's Anya? Oh, she is in a cabin. I think she had a headache halfway through the funeral. Sorry to hear that.
Oh, get that, will you?
Here you are, sir. Lounge bar.
That's Robin.
Who?
Romeo.
Mr. Craig. Just a moment, please. Is Mr. Craig in the lounge?
Mr. Craig, I don't see him at the moment. Who wants him?
He's not here just now. Can I get a message? Very well, sir. I'll tell him as soon as he comes in. Mr. Scatcher wants to see him in his cabin. He says it's important.
If I see him, I'll tell him. Excuse me, gentlemen.
How was the film, Professor?
A lot of fun. There was a wonderful fight in the saloon.
Oh, there always is. It's Derek Irvin in Westerns. I think we're going to take a turn around deck. Will you join me?
I'll just stay and watch the dancing for a while.
Good. Well, don't forget, when the fighting breaks out, keep your back to the bar. Steward, I'll keep an eye out for Mr. Craig. It was Mr. Scatcher that wanted to see him, was it?
That's right, sir.
What's he does it here?
Come in, signore. The door is not locked. What are you doing here? I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to Signor Craig.
Making any headway?
Not much. Though I do know who smuggled Bretsky on board.
You do?
The Tory Scotcher.
What's his game?
Money?
Did he kill Bretsky?
I don't think so.
Who did?
I wish I knew.
Shall I take Scatcher into custody?
Not yet, sir. It might tip our hand.
You mean the, what was that name again?
The Condor.
The Condor might realize we knew about Bretsky's death.
That's right.
Oh, this came for you a short while ago. As it wasn't coded, I didn't think it particularly important.
Good grief.
Is it?
It will be if I lose Nesterenko. My boss arrives in Dubrovnik tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Hello, Craig. Good evening, Captain. Captain, you know Mr. Arnell?
Yes, we've met before.
Well, before I forget, Craig, Scatcher was wanting to see you in his cabin. He phoned the bar and asking for you. Excuse me, Captain.
Certainly, Mr. Craig.
Well, Captain, tomorrow should be quite an interesting day. Gotcha, Craig.
for Mr. Craig?
No, Miss Cruikshank. The mate to this.
Where did you get it?
Don't you know?
You're in no position to be evasive, Mr. Craig.
Neither are you, Miss Cruikshank. Remember that. I see you didn't obey your uncle about that gun.
It's just as well, isn't it? Where was the earring?
It was in Scatch's cabin. Was he alive when you were there?
No.
When was that?
3, maybe 4 minutes ago.
Why didn't you report it?
I didn't want to be involved.
You are now, I'm afraid.
If you give that to me, I will overlook the fact that I found you in my cabin.
Oh, I can't do that, Miss Cruikshank. There's too much at stake.
Of course, I could always...
Could you? That gun is only a single shot.
That's all I need. Very well, Mr. Craig, have it your way. But we'll report it together. Don't move. There's already one man dead, Mr. Craig.
Lights are quite a romantic sight, aren't they?
Beautiful and very stimulating. I am excited to be ashore in the morning.
Why wait till then? Well, there's a boat going in a couple of minutes. We could catch it.
You would come with me?
Of course. I wouldn't let you go alone at this hour of the night. You seem to know your way around.
And you do?
Like the nose on my face.
I am tempted, but no, I cannot. Anya would only worry. You know how she is.
Fast asleep, I shouldn't wonder. She'll be back on board before she knows you're ashore.
I'll dash down and see.
Oh, we'd miss the boat.
Then telephone.
And wake up Anya if she's got a headache. Why don't you just leave a message with Niels? I'm sure that's the simplest.
Yes, all right, I'll do that.
You better hurry. I'll see you at the gangway.
You rang, Miss Croft?
Yes, steward. I caught this man in my cabin. I want him reported to the captain.
Of course, miss. You'll have to make a formal complaint at the Master-at-Arms office.
I would like my uncle to be there.
Certainly, miss. If you'll fetch him, I'll take Mr. Craig. It's all right.
Thank you.
You're not going to cause any trouble, are you, sir?
No, Clavick, I'm not.
That way, please, sir.
You know what's in there, Clavick?
Should I? Keep him. Through the door at the end of the car.
Oh. Good evening, miss.
Have you seen my uncle?
Yes, miss. He gave me a message for you.
A message?
Yes, he's gone ashore with Mr. Arnell.
He's what?
Well, they caught the boat. It left a few minutes ago. Why, miss? Is something wrong?
Niels, how do I get to the captain's cabin from here?
Well, go to the boat deck, then walk forward till we come to the entrance to the bridge. The captain's quarters are there. You can't miss them.
Thank you. Master-at-Arms office.
I beg your pardon, miss.
Where's Mr. Craig?
Open up cabin 43.
Yes.
He was there. On the floor. That's where I saw him.
Clavick, where's Mr. Scatcher?
I believe he went ashore, sir.
You're certain?
Well, I didn't exactly see him get in the boat, sir, but I heard him discussing a run ashore with Mr. Craig, and they went on deck together.
He's lying.
I beg your pardon, miss.
About 10 minutes ago, you came to my cabin and Mr. Craig was there. You said you'd take him to the Master-at-Arms office.
I'm sorry, miss. You must be mistaken. Except to turn down your bunk, I haven't been near your cabin all evening.
He's lying. He's lying. Scatcher was there dead and Craig was in my cabin.
Both gentlemen went ashore, sir.
You got the names of the passengers who took that boat?
No, sir. The list is in the purser's office.
Get it. Craig and Scatcher caught that boat. The names will be on the list.
Captain, I've told you, Scatcher's dead.
What were you doing in here?
Scatcher and I had been seeing a lot of each other. I came here to tell him it was over.
And he was dead. Anybody else see the body?
Mr. Craig did.
Scatcher's supposed to be ashore with him. No one else?
Not that I know.
But until I talk with Mr. Craig, there's not much I can do.
But my uncle's in great danger, Captain. Don't you realize that? Arnell could have kidnapped him.
Miss Crobshaw, believe me, your uncle's safety is of great personal concern to me. But officially, my hands are tied. He may go where he likes and with whom he likes. You see? Under the C's, Craig. And the S's, Scatcher. Miss Crosstook, I'm going to break a confidence to set your mind at rest. Leave us, please, both of you. Miss Crosstook, the closer your uncle is to Craig, the safer he is. Try and rest. I'm certain everything will be all right. Would you like the doctor to give you a sedative?
No, thank you.
I'll have the bar send you down a drop of brandy, all right? Clavick, you are relieved of any further duty pending Mr. Craig's return.
Yes, sir.
Carry on to your quarters. Wait there.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm damned if I know what to think.
Well, sir, if you want my opinion, I think she's one for the book. According to her, Craig's a thief, Scatcher's murdered, and Arnell's a kidnapper.
Well, I know the first isn't true. I hope the second isn't. The third is open to discussion.
Hmm?
Handy things, these skips. You can get almost anything into them. Almost anything. The old man thinks Scatcher's gone ashore with you. Although Anya Crofter keeps telling him the truth. He won't believe Scatcher's dead until he hears it from you. He's in for a long wait, isn't he?
Yes?
It's me, miss, Liv.
Oh. Come in.
I was told to bring you this. And to see that you drink it. Captain's orders, miss.
Thank you.
What's the matter, miss? You worried about the professor? He's all right.
Oh, that's what everyone keeps telling me.
But you're not convinced.
I won't be till I've seen him myself.
We'd better get you ashore then.
What?
There's a provision boat alongside. It'll be going in shortly.
Oh, but I've never been to Dubrovnik. I wouldn't know where to look.
Miss, if I know anything about Mr. Arnell's tastes, finding them won't be too difficult. I know my way around this town.
You'd come with me?
On one condition, that you never let on to anyone about it. It'll be more than my job's worth.
I promise.
All right. Meet me in the lounge in 5 minutes.
Oh, thank you, miss.
Ah, that's almost had it. I have to get a new one. What's yours like? Oh, well, no soon enough. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one in here. You know, Italian styling, very smart, very sleek. Might as well have a look.
We got all of that.
frequency, sir. Just about blew their equipment to smithereens, I imagine, but the local police got the message.
Will they cooperate?
Yes, sir, they've agreed to pick up both of them.
Suppose it's an innocent run ashore and they sue the line for false arrest.
You could always plead extenuating circumstances, sir.
Thank you. Craig, I
Where's
thought you were...
Nestorenko?
Sure, with Arnell.
Damn.
Well, we thought that we radioed the Dubrovnik police and they said they'd pick them up.
If they can find them.
What? Anya said the sketch is dead. Is this true?
Yes. Where is she?
Well, she's in her cabin.
Is she all right?
She's a bit shaken. I sent Neil down with some brandy for her.
Oh, good. Oh, you'd better do something about Klavik.
Where is he?
You'll find him in the linen closet near the A-deck passageway.
Carry on.
Oh,
Very
and,
good.
Scotch's body's there as well.
Who killed him?
Either Arnell or Klavik. Klavik denies it. I guess the three of them must have been in it together, and Scotcher was killed because he was ready to talk.
Well, while you were investigating his death, Arnell persuaded Nestorenko to go ashore with him.
Afraid so.
Why the elaborate cover story?
What do you mean?
The lies Klavik told me about you being ashore with the Italian.
You give Arnell time, a head start.
What fooled me was seeing those names on the list.
What list?
Names of passengers ashore.
Our names are on a list?
Yes, I saw them. They must have been added after the boat had gone inshore.
Well, by whom? Arnell's with Nestorenko and Klavik was with me.
Then who did put them there?
The Condor.
But you said
No, it's the
Arnell.
Condor and he's still on board.
But
Oh,
Mr.
of course, it's Anya's after him.
Anya?
He'll get at Nestorenko through her. Emotional blackmail is as old as the hills, and I nearly missed it.
You mean that Anya's safety depends on him going over to the other side?
And he would, to protect her. It's as simple as that. Come on, she needs help.
How many more then?
Couple of dozen and that's your lot.
As soon as the unloading's finished, we'll go on board.
Are you sure they'll take us?
Certainly.
She's gone, Craig.
Nils, of course, it's Nils.
Nils?
The Condor.
But how did you get his information?
By standing behind that bar, he learned everything. Scotcher phoned me there.
And Nestorenko left a message for Anya there. She told me.
Is there any way to off the ship tonight?
Yes, a provisions boat. We've been taking on supplies.
When the job's done, they go ashore.
Yes.
We've got to stop it. Stay where you are, Anya.
Don't move, Craig. Anya, come here.
Telling her to defeat her plan.
Come here, Anya.
Stay where you are, Anya. He won't harm you.
Come here or I'll kill Craig.
All right. Are you all right, Mr. Craig?
Yes, I'm fine. That was a good shot.
Does that surprise you?
No, I was sure of it.
How did you know I had the gun?
Positive. You were going ashore to protect your uncle.
Oh, where is he?
He's having a night in the town with a good friend.
And these two policemen, they are chasing us along the street, and we come to a corner. Daddy and I, we dash round it, we stop, we take off our jackets, turn around and walk back the way we have come.
And then when the policemen dashed round the corner, and as they rushed by, we both shouted together, I in Arabic.
And me in my best American, they ran away.
Well done, Craig.
Well, it had its moments, sir.
I can imagine. The bullets from Nils' gun match those found in Scatcher and in Bretsky's life jacket.
I thought they would.
And Klavik's made a full confession. Apparently, he spotted Bretsky the first night out from Marseilles. He told Nils, and Bretsky died because he had seen a man's face 5 years previously. And what's so ironic is that Nils really had nothing to fear. Bretsky would never have talked. Hello, Nick.
Good grief. What are you doing here?
Well, you know what the slogan says. You have half the fun coming out. I'll have the other half going back. Okay, Sport? Steady on. Yes, sir. No?